I thought it was just an ordinary day, but found myself trapped in the land of the end. I thought I could escape by constantly participating in the game of death, but found everyone awakening to supernatural powers. I thought this was the land of creation, but everything was headed towards annihilation. An old tungsten filament lamp was suspended in the center of the room by black wires, flashing a dim light. The tranquil atmosphere is like ink dripping into clean water, spreading in the room. There is a large round table in the center of the room, which looks very modeled. In the center of the table stands a small clock with complex patterns, and it is ticking at this moment. Round the table sat 10 people dressed in different clothes, their clothes looking a bit tattered and their faces stained with a lot of dust. Some of them were lying on the table, while others were sitting upside down in chairs, all sleeping soundly. Beside these 10 people stood a man wearing a goat head mask and a black suit in silence. His gaze pierced through the tattered goat head mask, staring at 10 people with great interest. The clock on the table rang, and the minute hand in our hand pointed to 12 at the same time. Far away from the room, a deep bell rang. At the same moment, the 10 men and women sitting around the round table slowly woke up. After they gradually regained consciousness, they first looked around in confusion, then looked at each other in confusion. It seems that no one remembers why they appeared here. "Good morning, 9 of you." Goathead spoke first. "I'm glad to meet you here. You've been sleeping in front of me for 12 hours. The man in front of me was dressed up strangely, startling everyone in the dim light. His mask seemed to be made of real goat heads, with many hairs turning yellow and black, knotted and stuck together. 2 holes were dug in the eyes of the goat mask, revealing his cunning eyes. His every move and gesture not only emitted the unique fishy smell of goats, but also a faint smell of decay. A man with tattooed arms was stunned for a few seconds, before finally realizing the irrationality of this matter. With hesitation, he spoke up and asked the goat's head, "Who are you? I believe you all have this question, so let me introduce it to the 9 of you." Goathead happily waved his hands, looking as if he had already prepared the answer. A young man named Chizia sat farthest from the goat's head. He quickly surveyed the situation inside the house, and after a moment, his expression became solemn. "Strange. This room is really strange. There are no doors here, walls are all around. In other words, the surroundings, roof, and floor of this room are all enclosed, but there is a table in the center of the room. Since that's the case, how did they come here? Is it difficult to send people over first and then build a wall?" Chizia looked around again, and found that there were intersecting lines on the floor, walls, and ceiling, dividing the walls and floors into many large squares. Another point that Chizia was concerned about was what the goat leader, referred to as the 9 ones. No matter how many people are sitting around the round table, there are always 10 people, plus the goat he